Well, I still can't snowboard, and you guys still want videos, so we're doing our first ever reaction video today. This is from the 2023 game of Slush. We're gonna get into why it was such a shocking experience. We're using my footage because I would feel weird reacting to someone else's footage. Here we have the first round in the finals, you could say. So I had wanted to do this event for a while, since essentially they had started doing it. Earlier in this season, I had won Lord of the Ropes at Trollhagen, and so I will admit, in my mind, with Slush having been there and covering the event, I was kind of thinking that winning that would get me a spot to compete in the game of Slush. Come to find out, I believe they had invited people, maybe like a group of people, I think. But there's also essentially like a qualifying day where you would go and qualify to be in the game of Slush. And so I sent out an email unknowing that this is how it was working this season. And I was just like, hey, I'd love to be in this event. Could I do this? And by no means was I in a financial position to fly out to California last minute. But I had to shoot my shot. So I sent the email, and Pat Bridges hit me back and was like, yeah, I'd love to have you out here. So ended up going out there. We did the first qualifying day. I made it to the finals, which is what we're watching now. And the finals was the following day. We ended up going out to a local establishment in Bear that night. And oh wait, no. That was the next night. We ended up going to a little party at someone's house, and we were like being pretty responsible until a couple of us weren't. And so, long story short, I ended up having to help hang out with people that night until we didn't get home until about 4:30 or 5:15 or maybe 6 in the morning. A bit unsure. But I didn't get much sleep. At about 2 a.m., things just heightened, and so the night sort of took off. And yeah, I ended up having to do what I had to do. And when we got back to the place we were staying that night, I tried to lay on this couch, and one of the homies who lived there was like, yo, you can't sleep on that couch. And I was like, well, what? I thought he was kidding. And I was like, are you serious? And he's like, you're not sleeping on that couch. So I proceed to grab my blankets and return to this little floor space that I had, which was literally like kitchen linoleum fucking flooring. And I got like 2 hours of sleep. And so we pulled up to Bear the next morning, and I obviously didn't have the most energy, and I wasn't feeling the best. And I had told my mom like the previous Thursday, I think, when I had got to California, I had told her, I was like, I'm gonna win. And when I showed up that day, of course, there was like a lot more doubt in my mind. And as I started boarding, like sometimes when you don't feel the best, you board the best. It's a crazy thing that happens, but it does happen. I think it's probably a part of the fact, like, damn, I'm not on it, so I really have to be. And I started boarding, and I started feeling good. So we ended up getting through that first round with Phil. And then here we are in this round with Sam. And I remember this one, when I like started this round, I was very intimidated. The first round, it felt good to get through, but then you just start having doubts. You're like, damn, I'd have to get through this person, and these are the people I could go up against. So when I started this round against Sam, it was intimidating because I know, just like right there, he does switchback twos. I'm not the biggest switchback two type of person, especially onto something that has a donkey like that. So I knew from the beginning of this round it was gonna I was gonna have to board pretty fucking hard. I was starting to feel good though. I remember like after trying that switchback 2, I was just confident in myself. I was hyped that I tried it because I don't like doing them. This was intense. I remember this being nerve-wracking, but felt good. That one felt good to get done with. But then I was standing there and I realized, oh shit, it's Viz that I go up against now. And that's when shit got real. If you watched this live stream, or if you were at Bear, or you saw the footage after the fact, you'll know that sort of time period in this round where Viz did a couple tricks that I don't like doing, and he ended up doing them back-to-back. And I was ready to take second right in that little zone of tricks. I was like, okay, yeah, I can't. I don't have confidence in these tricks, and as you'll see, things changed. This is a really good boarder. Like, if you are in the park at the same time as him, he'll do so much in such a little amount of time on such a high level. Like, really, really high level tech. Not so usual in the sense of he has tricks that people would find to be more uncomfortable, and he can kind of do them frequently. This was honestly nice. Like, I know it was like a crook, but the way he sat on it like a skateboard was sick. And same with that. That like honestly looked like the same way he did the 180 switch nose press. So here I was feeling a little confident. I was getting him some letters. And then I fucked that up. I fucked the back 3 front 1 up, and like that I don't do. And then I knew that he was gonna start doing things. Start doing Viz things. And that's exactly what he did. Like that, I don't like cab hardway 2s. You can tell. Now we're sitting at 0-0. And he does the thing I was like the most afraid he was gonna do, and that's this hardway front 2. I hate that trick. So right there, I dropped in and I was like, nope, you know what, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna take second. I'm cool with it. And on this ride up, I was like, I can't. And that's probably one of the coolest moments of my life. I know a lot of people like that trick. I don't. It scares the shit out of me. It always has. And so for that to have worked out the way it did was baffling. So I'm excited here. And I'm like, yes, I survived. And then I watched Viz do a gap switchback lip, which for those who know me, that's also like one of my least favorite tricks. But like riding the high, I was like just a boss up, and it happened. Wow. And then he did the front board right here, and I was like, yeah, let's chill for a second.
Here we go.
That rail was fun. That rail was perfect. That was also insane. Watching him do that, I was like, fuck. We got it. And that would have been insane. He was going for front board same way, which is really fucked up. So yeah, I was doing a lot of back 3 5-0s, 5-0 front 3s, 180 switch nose presses, rails that, or tricks that people don't tend to do that frequently that I, for some reason, have. And in a situation like this, no, I don't need to show you a switchback blunt same way or a nose press front 1 if I know the person I'm competing against can do that just as frequently as I can. So as much as sure it might be lame, oh Garrett, you did a bunch of back 4s and shit, it's tactical, right? If the end goal is to win, which of course it is, yeah, you want to have fun and you're with your buddies. But of course, we're all showing up to win. And so, like, if this is a strategy that will work because of no one else doing these, why not? There's no sense in me trying to show you this super duper duper large bag of tricks in an instance where if I fuck up, it costs me winning. I'd rather do something that I have unlocked that is hard and do that repetitively It's not like I'm doing the same tricks against the same person 3 times over. We have 3 different people, and I'm just utilizing the same bag of tricks to get me to that end goal. This was the craziest experience, like, of my life, honestly, between the lack of sleep and the lack of bed, the last minuteness of it, and then the having won Lord of the Ropes earlier in the season. It was just like a cool year for me. I have both of those checks hanging up behind me and will forever cherish those moments. Twan and I have talked about getting a little bit of the story about what really happened over that weekend out, and I guess this is like the good, filtered, easy to take in version of it. Also, you guys got to see this. If you haven't, judging by the views, a lot of people haven't. We've got our first reaction video done. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more. If you want me to do more, let me know what you want me to cover, maybe things we could talk about. Let's keep having fun. I will be on my snowboard soon. Not soon enough, but it's soon enough. I'm getting stronger. Thank you all for being here. See you in the next video.